everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over how to do some command blocks in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Now, as you may or may not know, I released a map which uses a heap of command blocks. Yeah, so I think I'm pretty experienced with this, so I'm going to teach you a really simple way to create spleef. You know, spleef from Hypixel and all that. I'm going to show a really quick way, or not quick, but really easy way to make spleef. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Leave a like if you do, and this video will be in a playlist with a lot of other ones. This video is just about TP commands, spread player commands, and spawn point commands. So I'm going to be teaching you those today. These are the first of the 6 videos that I'll be going through to teach you how to make spleef. So yeah, you should be able to find the playlist on my channel. It should be called Core Spleef or something like that. So yeah, if you're not already watching it in the playlist, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create a world, like the way you want to create a minigame world. So first of all, you want to give it a name. So let's call it learning, because we're going to learn in this one. So we've got, so we always want to put it on creative. Yep, continue, you want to press continue. Now, difficulty, you always want to be normal, unless you want the players to be able to heal really fast. So you put it on peaceful. Now you might be thinking, what's going to happen with the monsters? I'll show you that soon. Now, usually I put my permissions as member, so no one can actually run commands. Always want to put your world type as flat, so you can build way easier. Seed doesn't matter. I always turn up my render distance chunks all the way, so that I get max simulation. You want to turn on show coordinates, keep friendly fire on. You definitely need show coordinates. That is one of the most important things you need for this series. You want to turn on fire spreads, TNT explodes, mob loot, keep on natural regeneration, turn off tile drops, and turn on immediate respawn. Now, respawn radius when you're making a minigame world is always 0. Never make it anything else, because if you make it anything else, it will lag out the game. So do not do that. Now next, activate cheats will be on, education edition will be off, always day will be on. Do daylight cycle will be off, because we don't want it to go day night all the time. Keep inventory will be on. Mob spawning will be off. Mob griefing will be off. So that's how we get rid of mobs. We just turn off mob spawning. So now, even though we've got it on normal, mobs won't spawn. Then we got entities drop loot, we want to turn off. Weather cycle we want to turn off, because we don't want it to go raining all the time. And command blocks enabled on, obviously, because we're going to be using quite a lot of command blocks. Random tick speed, I recommend 1 or 0. 1 means that everything grows, but it's the normal speed, like vines and plants and stuff. If you don't want anything to grow, like your vines that you place or anything, then you want to set it to 0. So yeah. You want to turn on multiplayer games so you can play with your friends. I always go friends with friends, but it's up to you guys. You don't need any resource packs or behavior packs for this tutorial, but I will be showing you how to do some in future tutorials, but not this course that we're in now. Anyway, this is how you make a world, so then you just want to press create, which I'm not going to press because I've already made a world. So yeah, I'm going to go into that world and I'll meet you guys in that world. Okay, so I am actually into the game now. So first of all, what I want to teach you guys is @ symbols. So @ symbols are basically the target player that you want to run the command onto. So if you're trying to TP, you would use the @ to tell what player you want to TP. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this, but I'm going to teach you the best way to do it. Like, just the best way to do it if you want to make your very own server, because if you go by names and like you put in people's names and stuff, then that's not going to work for like a big server if you ever want to get into that sort of thing. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it the really simple, a bit confusing way. So First of all, there is @p, which means the closest player. If you see @p or if you use @p in a command block, it will TP the closest player to that command block, closest one. And if you do it yourself, it'll TP you. So if I do TP @p040, then it will TP me to 040. It'll always do you if you do @p. Now, next is @s. @s is kind of, it's basically yourself. But the thing is, the difference between that and @p, is that you can't use @s in a command block. It will not work because you can't TP the actual command block. Because whatever you run it in, it will TP itself. And you can't actually TP a command block. So if you put @s in a command block, it will not work unless you get into more complicated commands, which we'll get into in another course. But if you only use @s if you're running the command. Never ever use it in a command block unless, like I said, you are doing something else. Then we've got @a. @a is every single player on the whole world. So if I do TP @a040, now I don't have any other players on the world, but that's going to TP us here and everyone else who was on the server. That's what @a means. @a means every single player. After this, I've done these ats for you. I'm going to put a list up on the screen so you can tell which one is for which, in case you ever get stuck, and it will also be in the description. Okay, next is @r. Now @r will choose a random player from anyone in the world, a random player. Since I'm the only one in the world, it's going to TP me to there, but that's what @r means. It means a random player. And finally, there's @e, which means every single entity, also known as mob, also known as player, on this server. So it will TP pigs, squids, elder guardians, ender dragons, all sorts of things, to the place that you want them to be TP'd to. So if I spawn a heap of pigs like that, and then I do TP @e040, look, we're all here now. Which is basically what you'll need it for, those sorts of things. Now, there are other types, like more complex types, which I'll get into soon. But first of all, I'm just going to teach you coordinates. So if you don't know, you should have show coordinates on. Now show coordinates just shows you your coordinates up the top left. Now this will show you where you are in the world. So 040 on a super flat world is always the spawn point, 040. Because it's 0 blocks that way, 0 blocks that way from the spawn, and it's 4 blocks high. If we do 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So the middle one is how high you are, so it's called Y, that's this one. So it goes up and up and up, the middle one, as we go. Now, X and Z are a bit more complicated. You kind of got to work them out, depending on where you're standing. Now, I would say X is probably east to west. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's east to west. And then Z would be north to south, like this. So X is the one on the left, and Z is the one on the right. So as you move, as you can see, it changes your coordinates, which is why it's really useful to have your coordinates on, like I do. Obviously, when you're going to release the map, you're going to turn them off. I don't always do it, but it's good practice to, when you're releasing your map, turn it off. Anyway, so that is coordinates. Now, yeah, so if you say wanted to TP yourself to a specific spot, so you might have like a bunch of pumpkins somewhere or whatever that you want the player to TP to when they press a button. So what you might do is you would mark down the coordinates. So what I do, I look at the coordinates, I put 38, 4, 38, which is the coords to this. Now sometimes the coords get really long and you have to do one by one, like that, but it's just it's so much easier if you turn on show coordinates. Otherwise, you have to do like TP at S and then to your exact coordinates. Then it will tell you where your coordinates are. But it's just so much easier to turn on show coordinates, which I would 100% recommend. So now that we've got these coordinates here, where are they? Here they are. So now that we've got these, we're gonna Control A and then press Control C, which will Control A highlights everything in the little bar here, and Control C copies it. So that will highlight the whole bar and then copy it. If you click Control A, lift your fingers up and click Control C, that will that will copy your coordinates to the clipboard. So I've got 38, 4, 38. So I'm going to put that into a command block now. Now, if I do TP at P, which means closest player, and TP means teleport, sorry, I haven't gone over that yet, and then I do 30, like my coordinates that I've put down, then if I press this button, I will be TP'd straight to the carved pumpkins immediately. So that's kind of how coordinates work. It's just so much easier to have show coordinates on. I can't stress this enough. Have show coordinates on because it'll make your life 100% easier. If you're on Java, which you shouldn't be because this is a PE tutorial, there's many other ways you can do it. I might do a Java tutorial in the future, but this is just a PE tutorial. But yeah, so that is basically coordinates. So yeah, they move as you go on throughout the world. Yeah, and no two blocks have the same coordinates. And also, if you go too far one way, you can get into the minuses, which means the negative part of the coordinates, which isn't a bad thing. It's just from the spawn point, which is 0, 4, 0. It's just calculating from there. So that's basically coordinates. Now we're going to go on to TP commands. So this one here is TP at P040, which I think we've gone over, but I'll tell you again. TP means teleport, at P means closest player, and 040 is spawn. So if we do that, then we have been teleported to 040. So that's pretty simple. It will just TP the closest player. If there was another player here and I pressed it, they would be teleported because they're the closest one. Now, the next one is TP at R. Now, at R is random player, but since I'm the only player on the server, it'll TP me. So we've got TP at R 040. So that will TP a random player to 040. That could be anyone on the server, but since it's only me, because I don't have friends, it'll TP me. Now, this is a little extra that you can add. So, when you're doing TP commands, right, there is little bits you can add on. So say you wanted to do TP at E040, but you didn't want to TP yourself, you just wanted to TP all pigs. What you can do is you can do square bracket, straight after the at E, straight after the at E, square bracket, type equals pig, square bracket. And then that will TP all the pigs, but since I have no pigs, it's not going to work. So let's just summon some pigs. Yep, there we go. And then, if I place the pigs, yep, look at that. The pigs all TP to 040, which I'm just going to kill now, which is a command that we'll learn in the future. And that's basically all of it. That's basically the special add-ons you can do. You can also do, say, type equals pig, comma, C equals 1, which will TP the closest pig. So if I have a heap of pigs, the closest pig to me will be TP'd. C equals 1's mean the closest, and then 1 is like how many of the closest. So if we put C equals 2, then it will I just killed 2 of them, dang it. If I do type equals pig, C equals 2, it'll TP 2 of the closest. Right there. Okay, we had a bit of lag, but it's all okay now. But then if I only do C equals 1, then it will only TP 1 of the closest. The first closest, sorry. Then, what you can do with @p commands, they are only players. Never use @p on a pig or whatever. Never. It won't work. But with @r, if you don't have anything after it, just like this, it will just do players. But if you add @r type equals pig, then it will just do pigs. So if you want to TP a random pig to 040, if we press this button, it TP'd one random one. There. Okay, so that's the @r commands. Next is @a. So @a means every single player, not pigs or anything, just player. So if I type TP @a 040 and then press the button, it will TP all the players to 040. So if I had more players on the server, it would work better. Now TP @e 040. That is all entities, so mobs, players, bad mobs, good mobs, bosses, but not blocks. And armor stands count as a mob. So if you have armor stands, they will TP to there. So if we do @e, it will TP all me and my pigs to there. So that's basically the TP command done, I think. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment, or you can go to my Discord server, which will be linked in the description, and you can get quick access to what you need. Like, you can ask me way quicker. I'm on there pretty much all day. So just @me and ask me the question, and I will immediately, hopefully, respond if I'm online. If I'm offline, I'm probably sleeping. But yeah. Next, we have the spread players command. Now, okay, spread players is kind of like TP, except it's a little bit different. What spread players does is it has a center point. So the center point could be 040. And then you give it a radius. However long the radius is how far each player can go. So the player will be in one of those random blocks from each of those players. Sorry, I just pressed the wrong thing. So it will basically, say if I did 040 and a radius of 5, it will do, I could TP at 040, I could TP over here, I could TP here or here. It's basically just a random TP command. It's pretty cool. So basically, with spread players, you don't actually put the y-axis in, which is the middle one. So if you want to do 040, you'll just do /spread players 00, so you don't need to worry about the y. Then I think, let me just check. I haven't done the spread players in a while. So the spread distance is, okay, so you go spread players 0, 0 if you want to do it right at 040. Then, the next number will be the how far apart the players can be. So if you want them to be 3 blocks apart from each other at least, then you can do 3, but I put 5, so they have to be at least 5 blocks away from each other. And then this last letter here is, number, is how far they can go from that center point, which is 00. Now, they can go, in this instance, 6 blocks from 040. Now, then you want to put @a, which is your targets. If you just want to do @p, you can do that. If you want to do @r, all those sorts of things. You can do all sorts of things with this command. But with this, what it's doing is it's just going to TP me somewhere near 040 in a radius of 6 blocks. And as we are at -1 for -5. Now, with spread players commands, you cannot TP them under things. Like, you can't TP here. You will always TP on the highest block. So if you have like heaps of blocks just sitting around here, just like, you know, sitting here, you have a chance of standing on top of one of them. So let me just press this button, and it didn't work. Look, I'm standing on top of one of the blocks because it always TPs you to the highest block at where it's going to TP you to. Say it's going to TP me to here, but there's a block here. Say this is floating, I can't get it to float, but it will TP me here because this is the highest. Does that make sense? I'm not sure, just tell me in the comments if that made sense. Okay, and then same command, but with every player is 3 blocks apart, and there's a max range of 10. So that means I can be 10 blocks away, and each player has to be 3 blocks apart. So if I press it, there we go. I am 8 blocks from 040. So yeah, that's basically the spread players command. It's really simple, like really. If you don't get it, then make sure you join my Discord server or leave a comment. Now, last one. Okay, so this one is the spawn point command. Basically what it does is when you die, you will spawn point wherever you have spawn pointed yourself. So if you do, say this, spawn point at P0410. So that would be, where would that be? If we find 040, which is here. Was it? Yeah, 0410. So it will be right here. So when I die, I will TP to right here. I will spawn here, like kind of like a bed, but a bit different because there is no bed, and you can run commands and all sorts of things. So that is, when I die, I will TP straight to there. So if I game mode A, press this button, now my spawn point, as it says in chat, is 0410. So then if I /kill, then if I respawn, I am at, you go a little bit off the block, but look, my coordinates are 0410. So that's how the spawn point commands work. So say, I don't know, you build like a hide and seek mini game, and there's like glass above. This is like a mini map here. Say there's like glass above it, and this is your map down here, and this is like the spectator area. Say like, yeah, down here is the map, and then this is the spectator area up here. You'd want to get the coordinates to the spectator area, so mine are those coordinates there. Copy and paste them into the spawn point command block. Also, this is at P, so it does the closest player to the command block. You can do it with all the other ats. So if I do that, and I do that, so say I'm just playing a game of hide and seek, you know, and then, oh no, I get killed because the seeker found me. I will TP up here, and it will just bring me up here, and yeah, then I can keep spectating the rest of the game. So that is the simple spawn points. Now we get into the complex and or custom spawn points. Custom spawn points are a bit different. So this one here is spawn pointing me to 13, 5, 10, which is right here, which should have a pressure plate on it. Now, if I do this, see, so I'm going to spawn here, and it's going to trigger this pressure plate. Then it's going to run all these commands, which are, say, at P has died, which is just really simple. Then say, this is a test, and then TP me to 040. So, if I do this, I press the button. Now that is my spawn point. If I respawn, I was quickly there, and now I'm back at, there's a hole. Anyway, I'm back at 040. So let me just show you that again. So basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to die. And then when I respawn, I TP to 040, and it says, Harry Elia has died, this is a test. Which is what we wanted to happen. So basically what we've done is we've used this command block to spawn point. Can I open the command block today? Oh no, I'm in game mode A. I have, what I've done is I've spawn pointed myself to here, and then when I die, it runs all these commands here. Now you can get even more complex. You can say clear at P, so it clears their inventory. Then you can go say at P has died, say testing, and then TP me to 040. So look, I have items in my inventory now. And then if I press this one here will TP me to, spawn point me, sorry, to -13, 5, 12, which is right here. If I just went down a little bit, but I'm not going to because I don't want to press it. Then, so I'm going to press the button, it's going to set my spawn point to -13, 5, 12, and if I /kill, it quickly TPs us there. It clears my inventory, so I have nothing now. It says Harry Elia has died, it says testing, and I've been teleported to 040. So that's basically complex spawn points. Now what you can do with these is, say I want to do another one. So I want to spawn point at P -13, 5, 14, which would be right here. Say I want to say at P has died, and then RIP, like that. Then I could clear their inventory. I could affect at P speed for 5 seconds, speed 2. I could do that. Then I could say I could do all sorts of things. I could give him XP of 10,000 levels. So always remember, these commands are, I will teach you these commands here, like the say, the clear, the effect, the XP, all in another tutorial, but they will be in this course. I promise you, they will be in this course. Now, I will teach you all of those. But just test any commands you might know. So if you know a TP command, you can do that. If you know a /say command, you can do that. If you don't know any commands, just copy what I've done. I've put /say at P has died rip. Then I've put /clear at P in the second command block. Effect at P speed 5 seconds, speed 2. And XP 10,000 levels at P, which is going to give them 10,000 levels. So, now, I think, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when you make commands that have multiple commands running when you press one pressure plate, the first command always has to be an impulse needs redstone. So that's gonna, when I step on it, it's gonna signal that, so the impulse needs redstone. Then after it, you need a heap, or however many you need, of chain always active command blocks. They need to be always active in chain if you want them to run at the same time as this one. So that's going to create a big long chain of commands. You can do like, I think 200 commands in one, which I'm not going to do today because it will lag out my game. And then say I want a TP to 0410. Oh sorry, I need to put an at P in there. TP at P0410. So then I've got this spawn point. So when I die, it says at P has died, RIP. Clear at P clears me, my inventory. Effect at P speed for 5 seconds, speed 2. Then it gives me 10,000 levels at P. And then it TPs at P to 0410, which is over here. So now if I test this out, if I place a button on my command block, so you also want to make sure that you have spawn pointed them to right here. So you need to get the right coordinates, which for me is -13, 5, 14. So I've put them into a command block, spawn point at P -13, 5, 14, and then if I press it, set my spawn point to there, if I game mode A and /kill, then I get 10,000 levels, I've got speed, my inventory's been cleared, and the speed ran out because it was only 5 seconds, and it said up here, Harry Elia has died, RIP, and it TP'd me to 0410. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. Now, this is my first ever tutorial, so if I didn't explain very well, please let me know, like Discord or comment section, because I really want to know how I did. I hope I did it. I hope I explained very well. Anyway, this video should be up at the same time as all the other courses, so if you want to see the rest of the course, there should be a playlist in my YouTube channel, or if you're already in the playlist, you can just skip to the next video. But anyway, that is my first tutorial on how to create spleef. Now you may be thinking, how does this lead to spleef? You will see at the end. I'm just teaching you commands, then we will put them all together and create spleef. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe so you can help me out, because I really need some help with this. Like, I would very much appreciate it if you did this, subscribed, because it would just mean the world to me, honestly. And yeah, without any further ado, see you.